Hello, my friends, and welcome to a book haul where I most definitely broke my book buying ban. I guess it's over a little early. Not too early. Honestly, the ban helped me to not buy as many books as I would have. But I've got a big book haul here for you today. I'm going to start with the ones that I feel like officially broke the ban. Books that I bought that I didn't really need to, but I wanted to and did anyway. I also have a bunch of books that have been sent to me that I'm excited to read, as well as a bunch of thrifted books, which technically also broke my book buying ban. But when a book is a really good deal, I feel like it doesn't really count. Maybe I have very loose rules as to what a book buying ban is. But anyway, it's over. No more. My birthday is a month from when I'm filming this, and I'm definitely going to be buying more books. Okay, so I got books falling over onto me here. You know you got a lot of books when. We'll start with the ones that I feel like definitely broke the book buying ban, and I have read 50% of them. So the first one is A Bride of Fallen Stars by Victoria McCombs. Technically, this kind of didn't break my book buying ban because I said books that were part of the indie book club didn't count. Did I need to buy November's book so early? No, I did not. But it ended up in my March, as one of my March favorites. It is a fantasy book. It's the first in a duology where we are set in the skies and our main character is set to be the queen of the night, and her sister tosses her out. And the queen of the night, her name is Cora. She is trying to fix the things that are falling apart because her sister doesn't know what she's doing. And yeah, I loved it. I'm going to try not to read all of the indie book club books early. This is the only one that I have so far. I'll try to refrain from reading the other ones early, but it was Victoria McCombs. I couldn't stop myself. Then I got, when are we reading this book? This is also an indie book club book for June or July. I can't remember. It's The Last Wayfinder by Ellen McGinty. Actually, this book is a lot skinnier than I was expecting. It's, how many pages? Just over 300 pages. This is apparently kind of in the same world as her Saints and Monsters book, which is another one I would like to own a physical copy of, but I think they're like separate books. I don't even remember what this one's about. Born into prison, Kira has only known the Arctic wasteland where the worst criminals are sent to be forgotten, including her mother. When a brutal imperial inspector sentences her family to death, she unleashes a forbidden magic that comes with a devastating cost. Her sister is cursed, transformed into a monster. Yeah, and like Ellen McGinty lives in Japan. Yeah, Japan. And I feel like her books are kind of infused with that flavor. Or at least the one I've read so far, and even like the cover of this one looks like it's going to be. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this, but I'll read it in the month that we are doing it for the book club. Then I bought a book that I have read, The Starlit Prince by C.F.E. Black. This one was like majorly on sale, so that's why I wanted to grab this when I did. I read this book about a year ago and really loved it. It's got some Beauty and the Beast elements to it, and Marriage of Convenience, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, so I was really excited to find it on sale. Then I managed to find a book that I've had my eye on for quite some time, also majorly on sale, and that's Firebird by Kathy Tyers. This is the first book in the Firebird trilogy, which is what it originally started out as, but then I think there's maybe 5 books in it now. It was originally published quite a while ago, 99. Yeah, so their original trilogy is decently old, but more has been added to it. I have been wanting to start this. It's a science fiction. Her death was expected, but something more powerful kept her alive. This is a very fascinating premise. Lady Firebird was born to the royal family. Because of her birthplace in the family, however, her life is expendable. Honorable suicide is the highest calling she could hope to attain. When she is chosen to lead an attack on the neighboring planet, her death is expected. Instead, she is taken prisoner and is held by the enemy. And so I don't know, it's just like such an interesting concept. Very curious, very much want to read that. So these 4 books are kind of like, well, 2 of them are for the indie book club. So kind of only 2 of them like really broke the book buying ban. But yeah, I definitely thrifted a bunch of books. But excited about all 4 of those, 50% of which I've read and enjoyed, and then 50% which I'm looking forward to reading. Now let's get into a bunch of other books here. First of all, this one just arrived at my door yesterday. It's Crosswords by Shatona Havig. So this is also an indie book club book. This is the book we're going to be reading in May, which I said is my birthday month, so I wanted a good book to read for that. In this series, we follow a man named Milton. He helps bookstores get out of debt. So we're like hanging out in a bookstore, having a grand old time. Shatona also sent me a bunch of stickers. They're about to fall out of here as well. Read Me Alone. Nice. Books are portals to imaginary worlds. Got a signed copy. Now it's really bright. That sun, it got bright. So who are we hanging out with in this? 2 believers and 1 skeptic walk into a Christian bookstore. Words ensue, including cross ones. Okay, so Crosswords has thrived for over 50 years. This is also, it's based off of an actual bookstore. And Shiloh Scott runs it with equal parts scripture, encouragement, and wholehearted hugs. So when she moves the store to a new location, she expects shelving chaos. She does not expect to learn her nephew is done with Jesus. Yeah, and I have just enjoyed this series. It makes my TBR explode. She generally tends to share book recommendations. Oh yeah, there's a book list. Oh my goodness, there's a book list at the end of the book. And it is 3 and a little bit pages long. So these books are dangerous for the TBR, but like in all the best ways. In all the best ways, for sure. It was because of this series that I first read the Parnassus on Wheels and the second book, The Haunted Bookshop. Had never heard of them before, loved them. So I definitely have Shatona to thank for that, as well as for this book. I also just got, I talked about this one in my last video, The Life She Forgot by Joanna Davison Politano. So this is the first book in the House on the Edge of the Cliff series. And we're set in Cornwall in 1913 and 1947. And in 1913, this lady, for some reason, she has no memories, can't remember the past. But then she gets married and is maybe remembering another marriage. Yeah, very curious. Also a signed copy. Yeah, excited to read it. And it just barely came out this week. So now that I have the physical copy, I'm going to be reading that right away. And then I got a box from Haven. They are a new publishing house that's like a branch off of Baker and Bethany. And they sent me 2 books. I've got A Deal with a Debutante by Chelsea Babalski. Not sure how to pronounce that, if I pronounced that properly or not. I have read another one of her books. Remember Me, I think it was called, and really enjoyed it. This one looks very different. She's running from London's marriage mart. He's running out of time to save his estate. Neither intends to fall in love, but their hearts have other plans. And we are just going to fight with the sun here a little bit. So Haven is a clean, no spice romance publishing house, I think is what it is. And yeah, I thought I would check out some of their books. So I got this one. And then I really love the cover of this one. Even After This by Deborah Clack. This is the first book in the Shelter and Sky. And honestly, I don't really know much anything about it, but the cover has me totally drawn in. I love purple. It's one of my favorite colors, along with green. And I don't know, purple covers just draw me in so fast. When you're ready to live again, love often has a way of finding you. 4 years after tragedy, Meredith Harper is tired of hiding in her corner of Texas and living life like a game of dodgeball. She packs up her grief, awkward social graces, and sizable life insurance in search of a vacation and investment property in Colorado Springs. A botched dinner reservation throws her into the path of a bona fide movie star, and Meredith pushes through her comical celebrity neurosis to discover he is charming but a terrible dancer. So yeah, I have no idea. I also got like some stickers they sent that I think probably have to do with the books, and some bookmarks. There's one for Even After This. Just love those colors. Oh yeah, I really like this sticker. It says I showered today. I don't know, it's really cute. Now it's bright in here. Yeah, so I am going to give these a try, and then I think book 2 for this series is coming out later this year, if I remember correctly. And then I got Turning Toward Eden by Kate Turian. Hollis. Oh, I didn't realize the character's name was Hollis. I love another character named Hollis. Hollis might be her only friend. A lanky boy Mama calls her Beau, but Eden Lewis has no time for his hogwash. She's got a mystery to crack. For most 14-year-olds, California summers in the early 70s mean sun and surf despite the Cold War chill. Not for Eden. Her AWOL father has sent her into a tailspin, landing her in a shabby beach town, stuck caring for her severely disabled brother. Stuck in her parents' own Cold War, Eden ditches decks at every chance, pier fishing with Hollis, playing poker with the grizzled card sharks, and caterwauling in the church choir, laying plain to the almighty that singing terms ain't the same as speaking terms. What with the hand he's dealt her. Very much looking forward to reading that. Then I got Forged in Fura. I'm not very good with fantasy pronunciation. This is book 1 in the Oriole Odyssey by C.B. Sharp. And then underneath the dust jacket, we've got another cover, an illustrated cover. Looks very wintry. 3 will be born of pure intent, 1 of bravery, 1 of compassion, 1 of faith. Wield the sword to slay the kings and destroy the bloodless race. That sounds like a bit of a prophecy. The more immortal ancients have positioned themselves as creators, worthy of worship and rule. As a result, they have morphed into beasts, keeping clayborns divided and dependent upon them. After their parents are captured and they are left for dead, the Oriole siblings learn of their fate. Free Terra Nova from the ancients' oppressive regime and restore divine order to their world. We've got a map, and yeah, this one sounds really cool. I'm very much looking forward to diving into this world. Okay, then we've got Raccoon Key. This one is by Donna M. Cole, and it is based on an unsolved mystery from 1873. Sounds really interesting. Cape Romaine's marshes devour secrets. On the forsaken island of Raccoon Key, 2 lighthouses loom over a brutal riddle. What really happened to Brigitte Johansson? Throat slashed ear to ear, family jewels vanished, coroner's inquest dubious. Suspicion, lighthouse keeper, assistance, or a stranger of the night. When marine biologist Lennon Wilder returns home to track loggerhead turtles, she never expected to cross paths with Gray Sutton, the one man she can't quite erase from her memory. And when the pages of a century-old journal are opened and valuable treasure is discovered, research becomes a relentless search for the rightful owner. Clues unravel, danger strikes. No one walks away unchanged. So we've got a dual timeline suspense story. The light sweeps the sea, the cottage bore the blood, the keeper held his tongue. That sounds so good. Looking forward to diving in real soon. Oh, I also got this one. This one is so cute. This is The Blobs, Attack of the Glitches, written by Justin Stewart and illustrated by Rick Douglas. So this is published by David C. Cook, and the author, I think, was looking for like more Christian books to offer kids. So it looks, based on the cover, you'd think it would be a graphic novel, but it's actually like a easy chapter book with lots of pictures. I think that this is going to be perfect for my 7-year-old. Their escape tracked, their warnings ignored, their friendship solid. Launch into this warp speed adventure as Kadetsky and his misfit crew finally reach their new home, Planet Splotch, right after accidentally stealing a set of ultra-dangerous doomsicles. Now they're on the radar of every villain in the galaxy, especially King Neptune, who wants those doomsticks back and isn't asking nicely. So this is book 2, volume 2. Hopefully the story will make sense reading volume 2. But yeah, it looks really cute. Love the illustrations. Oh, there's some outtakes in the back as well, different illustrations. But yeah, it looks really cute. I'm gonna read it myself as well. Okay, next stack. I've got Wings of the Sword, book 1, A Gladiator's Prayer, by Caleb Forge. This is a Christian fantasy novella. It's decently short, 150 pages. Freedom comes at a cost, one that scars both body and soul. In the blood-soaked arena beyond Rome, Magnus is a warrior bound by a brutal contract. 12 victories will earn him his freedom, but as he inches closer to release, he begins to feel the weight of a much deeper war, a battle not of flesh and steel, but of spirit and purpose. So we are set outside of Rome in 190 AD, which is a very interesting time period. We got the Gladiator. Very curious about that one. Oh, this one has a fun backstory. So the author, when I sent her my address, she was like, oh, she's from the States. But she's like, I know someone from that area with the same last name. And it turns out like it's Jared's relatives and like the only people we knew when we moved here. So she's friends with Jared's cousin's kid. Makes it feel like a small world when that happens. So we've got The Sun on His Fangs by Madeline Cliff. And this is the first book in the Means of Grace duology. And the sun is going again. And this is a K-Wave inspired vampire suspense that overlays the Christian gospel. And I don't know, if other than Dracula, I don't think I've ever read a vampire book. But I get really excited when Christians see areas of like interest to people, different genres of interest, and then try to put some good Christian literature in there as well. So I'm very curious about this. Michelle Phan lives a bold and unapologetic life and has the black lipstick to prove it. But when involved in a tragic car accident, she has to rethink her status as a standard rebellious teen. Taking up a job at a local blood donation clinic, her only wish is that her questioning boss and peppy Korean coworker would leave her alone. But it turns out that her coworker, Sunny, has a big problem with being in the sunlight. It doesn't take Michelle long to find out why. Pulled into the underbelly of a world where monsters live and prey among them, Michelle comes to an understanding with her new vampire friend. All she wants is to avenge a person she lost. All he wants is to become human again. So I'm going to check that one out. I've got a poetry collection here. Sunder and Mori by K.E. Andrews. Life is often a series of moments strung together to define the fabric of our lives. Sunder is the realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own. Mori is the desire to capture a fleeting experience. Together, it is the desire to capture the fleeting moments of the world around us. That is the essence of Sunder and Mori. Yeah, and if you've been here for any length of time, you know I like poetry. I love that the cover, there's like a page inside where it's colored and totally brings in that marble look. Yeah, so it's a short poetry book, about 50 pages. I'll read that soon for sure. And then that same author sent me a fantasy book, Hills of Heather and Bone. Now, this one I'm very curious about because, first of all, it has to do with a married couple, which hardly any books do. But then, it says, on the fringes of Aragol, Morana longs to exchange a life of hiding for a peaceful one with her husband, Percy. While Percy's blood gift lets him grow plants and heal broken bodies, Morana's a bone weaver, despised and feared because she can hear bones and raise the dead. I'm curious to see how that works here. Morana doesn't want to be seen as a villain from the old stories and instead spends her time gardening, writing the stories of the dead, and fending off a spiteful chicken, which sounds hilarious. Morana and Percy's lives are shattered when a group of Phaelinists tasked with capturing bone weavers and rogue blood-gifted find them. So then they go on the run. Once again, it's got a purple cover. Totally sucked in by that. And ooh, it's got like some different floral elements on the inside. I'm also up for floral and also has a map. So another one to read soon. Then I got a trilogy sent to me. This is exciting. The trilogy is the Forsaken trilogy. So the first book is Out of the Darkness. This is by Elizabeth Rogers. Then the second book is Into the Light. And the third book is Look to the End. This one is chunky. How many pages is this last one? 750 pages. Okay. Yeah. So let's see here. The rising is about to begin. Marcus, son of Barsadius, of the 598th Legion of our King Zoran, will very soon be dead. As a blind man, his only use is to perish in the 11 lands and advance the armies of Ramesia. The magical barriers that protect the realm will tear his body to shreds, and he will scream like every other man, woman, and child who has gone before him. Chained at the ankles with a spear at his back, he lifts his hand to feel the path ahead, and when he doesn't die, everyone, including himself, wants to know how he lived. Tortured, starving, and barely surviving, Marcus does not understand the significance of his crossing and the part it will play in the rebellion of it all. Yeah, and then there's picture on the back. Also has a map in there and is also signed. So this is a trilogy that I'm looking forward to reading soon. Definitely a little nervous with the length of that last one, knowing me and my, I don't know, I can get easily scared by that many pages. Okay, so those are all the books that were sent to me. Let's get into my thrifted books. I have mostly like kind of vintage thrifted books here today. I found 2 for Jared. I got Intersections with Christ at the Crossroads of Life by Raymond C. Ortland. So this is Ray Ortland Sr. And I honestly didn't even look up the book. It was 50 cents. So I sent Jared a picture and I'm like, do you want this? And he said yes. What is it? Personalized Bible study is an art few writers master. Ray Ortland takes you through the 8 pivotal happenings in the life of Jesus Christ in a way that brings the familiar stories in the Gospel of Luke to vivid new life. So this is an 8-chapter titles of this unusual Bible study reveals the events that are considered. Okay, so it's like Christ's birth and your birth, Christ's baptism, your baptism, Christ's temptations, your temptations. No idea, just grabbed it. Another one that I found, this one was a couple dollars. I found Institutes of the Christian Religion by John Calvin. I think this is volume 2. And once again, I just texted Jared and I was like, do you want this? It's chunky. It's 700-ish pages. Don't really know what it's about, but yeah. And it's, unfortunately, it's volume 2. But he said yes, so I grabbed it. I found 2. Where did those ones go? Oh yeah, I found one like quite vintage Christian nonfiction for myself. This is by Anne Ortland, who is this Ray Ortland's wife. What is this? Disciplines of the Beautiful Woman. And like, look at this picture of her on the back. That gives you an idea of like how vintage it is. What is this? Here's a book for women that is personal, convincing, practical, a guidebook without tricks or gimmicks for women who want to live their lives more efficiently and more fully. With charm and humor, Anne Ortland helps women to see how they can eliminate the unessential from their everyday lives and have more time and energy for what's really important. What's interesting is like, when was this published? The first printing was in 1977, because I feel like we need more help now eliminating the unessential from our everyday lives. So very curious about this. And then I will show 2 that Reka found because she got 2 Lord of the Rings ones. We got here The Two Towers and The Return of the King. So unfortunately we didn't find book 1. But these are like a nice size. Love these vintage covers. And then, yeah, they're just boring on the hard copy, on the hardcover part. But yeah, found those. She needed those. Grabbed those. Then I got some good old Golden Age detective fiction vintageness. Look at this book. Look at that cover by Dorothy L. Sayers. What is this? The Documents in the Case. I think it's, I don't even know what it is. It's not part of her series, her Peter Wimsey series. And I don't really care. I just was like, I love mushrooms. I love vintage covers. I love this really tacky vintage cover, so I'm going to grab it. I also got Striding Folly. This one's got Peter Wimsey in it. I don't know which number it is. Once again, vintage cover. Not quite as cool as the mushroom one, but can't say no to that. I found this. I did some of this thrifting. I shared in my Instagram stories as I was thrifting and shared a bunch of this. Among the Shadows by L.M. Montgomery, which I'd never heard of this. It's edited by Ria Wilmshurt. 19 newly discovered stories by Canada's most popular author. When was this published? 1990. So awesome cover as well. Don't really know what it is. Just short stories that were never published before. Can't say no to that. Oh, I found Miss Reed Village School. I have read Christmas Mouse by her and enjoyed it. And I don't know, I guess this is about a school. I'm not sure. Like, these vintage covers don't really tell you anything in the back. Or like the vintage books generally don't say much. Another Dorothy L. Sayers with a very different cover. This is Unnatural Death, The Dawson Pedigree. Oh, it is another Peter Wimsey book. Look at that cover. This one says, the matter of unnatural death seemed particularly surprising in Agatha Dawson's case, since the doctor had given her only a few months to live anyway. There was something odd about her death, which Lord Peter Wimsey picked up on immediately, and death seemed still less natural when the body of a young girl 5 days dead was found in the woods, and another girl mysteriously disappeared. Lord Peter was right about murder. He simply didn't know why. Okay. I got an Agatha Christie. What's this one? The Labors of Hercules. This is featuring Hercule Poirot. This is just one of the Poirot books. I don't know what order, what number. I haven't been reading his in order at all, so I have that for my stack when I get to that one. Then I found this book, which was really cool because I only heard about this book a couple months ago and had never seen it before. This is Mrs. Mike. So a local friend told me about this. This is the story of a young Irish girl from Boston and Sergeant Mike Flanagan of the Canadian Mounted Police, who is priest, doctor, and magistrate to all in the Great Canadian Wilderness area under his supervision. So this is historical fiction from the area where I live, kind of, based in Alberta. Yeah, that's all it says about that, but looking forward to reading that. Not the best cover. It's like that tacky vintage cover, but also kind of doesn't really tell you much. I found Dorothy Gilman for 50 cents. Mrs. Polifax Pursued. I also found one of hers that I had read, of course, but managed to find one that I read and owned. This one I've read, but I didn't own. So now I've got it. And then I feel really bad about this one. Another one I found for 50 cents. It's Julie by Catherine Marshall. I have been collecting a lot of Catherine Marshall books. I have Christie, I have Peter, now I have Julie. I have another one I can't remember the title of. I haven't read anything by her, and I've only heard good things. This one we are with Julie Wallace, who's 18 in 1934 when her family moves to a flood-prone Pennsylvania town. Julie began fighting to fulfill her dreams. I don't know. I need to read some Catherine Marshall, for sure. Oh, and then I found a copy of Between Shades of Grey. I used to have a copy and I borrowed it out and never got it back, so feels good to have this back. This is set in Lithuania in World War II in a concentration camp. Quite brutal, but very well done and very interesting, like a whole aspect to it that I had never read about before. It's by Ruta Sepetys. She kind of always knocks it out of the park. I found this awesome vintage Agatha Christie Sleeping Murder, Miss Marple's Last Case. I think I already have a different copy of this, but I couldn't leave this edition there. Look at that cover. That is something. Can't say no to that. Oh, this one's really random. I got The Wizards of Once by Cressida Cowell. So she wrote Dragon, How to Train Your Dragon books. And I don't know, this one doesn't have the dust jacket anymore, but this looks so cool. So there is just tons of illustrations to go with it. There's no back. I don't really know what it's about, but when I was flipping through, first of all, there's just illustrations, but there was something really cool. I gotta see if I can find it again. Okay, it was this random page. It was like the spell book, Spoon Moods. Anxious, sad, excited. I didn't know what this is, but it just looked interesting. It's got spelling staffs. I don't know, these are pages from a spell book. So I don't know anything about the book, but I really liked the format of it, and the end pages are really cool too. So I picked it up. And the last one I found is Jane Austen, An Illustrated Treasury. And this has featuring removable memorabilia, including handwritten letters, drafts, and more. It's by Rebecca Dixon. And yeah, so there's all sorts of information, and then you've got a letter in here. It's a bunch of illustrations. I don't even know what this is. A little bit of Pride and Prejudice there, it looks like. So I think I'm going to read through this for Jane Austen July. I always have excellent intentions for Jane Austen July, but I feel like this is maybe a little bit more manageable than what I usually try to do. So that's what I'm planning on reading that. So that's a lot of books. I got a lot of really good deals on thrifted books, got some good deals on some other books, got some books sent to me. Overall, excited to read all of them. I would love to hear like what's a good book deal you've gotten recently or a new book that you've hauled that you're excited to read. Definitely let me know, and hopefully you'll see me reading these real soon.